Hey guys, it's Blicker here. I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of a build I've been playing in Incursion. It's an elemental hit Elementalist, so using the Witch and the Elementalist Ascendency. I'll just give you a quick rundown of the gear and then I'll jump into a map. So I'm using a Wind Ripper, Lore Weave for the max resists, and everything on this really synergizes well with the build. Devoted its devotion to speed the build up a bit because we're not playing Deadeye, so we kind of lack movement speed and mobility. Um, just a standard crit quiver. Um, and then some accuracy gear. So accuracy there, Assassin's Mark on hit ring, some accuracy, attack speed, life. Yeah, elemental damage with attacks, move speed. That's about it for the gear. Passive tree, I'll post a paste bin link in the description of this video. But basically we're picking up elemental damage, a bit of penetration, some power charges, picking up life all the way throughout the tree. This is a life-based build. We pick up some accuracy nodes because we need accuracy, being as we're not a Deadeye. We use 3 Grand Spectrum Jewels, which give a total of 106% increased elemental damage. It's probably the best way to scale the damage on elemental hit. We're not doing any fire damage. We're using the combat focus that makes it can't choose fire, which means that we're going to be freezing and shocking, and that's going to be the theme of this build. Beyond that, we've got a bit of life regen to counteract blood rage, some more life, a bit of lightning damage. Lightning's our main damage dealer. Tempered Mind gives us just a little bit of accuracy because we are lacking. Right now I'm at about 90% chance to hit, which is fine. Got some crit chance, life, attack speed, and an inspired learning jewel here. This just feels really, really good when you're running maps and is way cheaper than a headhunter. Beyond that, yeah, I'll post a link to the paste bin for this character in the description, and I'm just going to jump into a map to give you an idea of the gameplay. One of the downsides of this build is that you catch some lag as soon as you encounter packs because we have the elemental proliferation elementalist node, which causes your elemental ailments to spread to enemies, and the game really doesn't like that when you first run into a map. So I've got my elemental hit linked to Mirage Archer, which feels really, really good. Probably the time it feels best is in the Temple of Azoatl, which I'm probably mispronouncing. But Mirage Archer can shoot at the nearest enemies, which is great because there's some guys who teleport behind you and really destroy the vibe of bow characters, I think. So having your Mirage Archer just automatically shoot at them and freeze them is fantastic. We're also using the confluxes, mostly just to get to the elemental proliferation nodes. And that's pretty good. It's not ideal, the burn, but the rest of it is pretty good. The reason that I decided to play this character this season is because I thought it would be really good for incursions, and it turns out that it is pretty good for incursions, so that's pretty positive. Another really cool thing about this build is it's a bow build that moves reasonably fast, not as fast as a Deadeye, but you can freeze lock bosses, which feels fantastic. You are a little bit gated on the content you can do by your damage, because if your damage is not high enough, your crit chance is not high enough, you won't freeze lock bosses, and then you need to play them like a normal character would. But I'll show you on this boss, you can generally just stand and effectively face tank bosses in T10. This build would be exceptionally good if you're checking out the paste bin with a +2 quiver. I don't have one yet, but if I did, then I could drop lesser multiple projectiles from my 6-link, and I think I would use power charge on crit to sustain power charges during bosses. And also because you get a 4% more damage multiplier per power charge. And we use 5 power charges, and if I can get the Dream Corrupted Wind Ripper this season, then I'll have 6. And that would be a pretty sizable damage upgrade, in addition to maintaining our power charges on bosses, which is super important. So like I said, this isn't necessarily as fast as a Deadeye would be able to play Elemental Hit, but you get the Elemental penetration of Heralds, you get some increased effective Heralds, which kind of makes this build feel a little bit like an auto bomber. You can see as soon as I move into range of things, they start burning. And exploding enemies causes burning effects on nearby enemies. All in all, this just is really, really effective at applying freeze, shock, and burn to enemies, even though burn is not our #1 choice of ailment. And it's a super fun feeling build. I think it's really, really cool. I don't think I'm going to dick around with Verici for this video. 25 mobs left. So yeah, that's kind of how this plays. Check out the paste bin. I'll just give you guys a quick view. I realized I didn't show the Ascendency. So we're taking the Confluxes, Shaper of Desolation. We're also taking Beacon of Ruin. This is really, really strong. It sets a floor on your shock effects, chill effects, ignite effects. Pendulum of Destruction we pretty much just take to get here, although it's not bad. And this just reduces the mana reservation of your heralds. Yeah, at any rate, thanks for watching.